gentlemen, the champ is here, the champ is here, the champ is here. You took a long man to the end. The champ is here, the champ is here.
You are tuned in to G5Jeff TV. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Like the video, share the video. Let's get right into it. We just had Tank on pay-per-view last week against Mario Barrios. It was a really good fight. He got the victory in the 11th round. The house was definitely packed in Atlanta. Atlanta's definitely rocking with Tank Davis. His pay-per-view numbers was between 200 to 215,000, which I don't have a problem with those numbers. But I think the most important thing that came out of that fight and that fight weekend is that Floyd Mayweather actually announced that Tank Davis is doing all in-house fights. He's not going to be fighting anyone from another promotional company or another network. Floyd specifically said they're not in the business of making another company rich, and Tank is going to be fighting all in-house fights. Now, let me get this clear for anyone that's listening. At the end of the day, that's a promoter's dream situation, is to have a big fight and is in-house, because you get the big fight and then you can also keep all the money in-house, and you can control the entire situation, and you don't have to deal or negotiate with another promoter or another network. It's less hassle. So Floyd Mayweather actually coming out saying it is one thing, but that's the goal of every single promoter. Like, let's get that clear. So that wasn't no major announcement. The fact that he was so bold about it and actually said it to the public was pretty surprising. But let's take Floyd at his word that Tank is not going to fight any outside network fights, right? So we're talking within the PBC banner. His options are very limited in terms of quality fights that the public would approve of for Tank. So you got to think, he fought Leo Santa Cruz on pay-per-view. I think that did 200-something thousand. He fought Mario Barrios on pay-per-view. That did 200 or something. So in order for Tank to get to 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 pay-per-view buys, he needs a dance partner that's going to bring something to the table. He needs a dance partner that's going to bring something to the table. If he's going to fight all in-house fights, there's no other fights for Tank to fight on pay-per-view that's going to get him above that 200 to 215 range. Like, let's just keep it all the way 100. There's only a few fights he can take between 135 and 140 that make sense for Tank. Number one would be Isaac Cruz Gonzalez. That's a PBC fighter. He's a part of that Manny Pacquiao umbrella. He's very popular with the Filipino crowd, and he's an action fighter. Now, what's going to happen is, if that's the fight, that fight could do some numbers in terms of Isaac Cruz Gonzalez bringing some people to the table. But let's be real, that name alone, Isaac Cruz Gonzalez, does not move the needle for the general boxing public. To the hardcore boxing public, that's a solid fight, but not for the general boxing public, and that's what you need for the pay-per-view numbers to go up. Second person will be Rolly Romero. He could literally fight Rolly at 140. We all know Tank and Rolly has a history. Tank has been on camera saying Rolly is trash. You got the whole TMT Connect. That's about as in-house as you can get. Both of them are TMT. Rolly is a very entertaining fighter. A lot of people don't like Rolly's style. A lot of people don't think he's that good of a fighter, but that would be pure entertainment between Rolly and Tank. So that fight could be interesting for Tank, but again, that doesn't bring out the masses in terms of the general public, in terms of pay-per-view numbers. I'm trying to think. Devin Haney is a network free agent, but Floyd came out and said that they would never fight. He would never sign off on that fight. So that's another opponent that he could fight, but it's just not going to happen. In order for Tank to become great, in order for Tank to be special, in order for Tank to really test his skills against the top guys, Floyd has to put him in the deep water And outside of the network, he can't get a Ryan Garcia fight. He can't get a Teofimo Lopez fight. He can't get a Loma fight. Based off of Floyd's own words, he can't get a Devin Haney fight. He can't get a Javier Fortuna fight. He can't get a Jojo Diaz fight. He can't get a Emmanuel Tegu fight. Like, he can't get none of those guys at 135. He won't put him up against Josh Taylor, who was the unified champion at 140. Won't put him up against Regis Prograis. Won't put him up against Jose Ramirez. The list goes on and on. If he goes outside of the network, there's about 10 to 15 fights that Tank can fight, and he will be set like for the rest of his boxing career. But in-house, there's literally only like 3 or 4 guys that he could actually fight. The top 3 guys would be Isaac Cruz Gonzalez, Rolly Romero, and if Chris Colbert decided to move up in weight and meet him at 135 or 140. Those would be the 3 top guys that he could fight that are in-house. That's it. That make any type of sense. And even with Chris Colbert, that's high risk, low reward. I don't even think Floyd would even take a Chris Colbert fight for Tank, because Tank could possibly lose that fight. Chris Colbert is good. So even though Floyd is mentioning something that is known within boxing circles in terms of business, all promoters want in-house fights, but to actually cap your main guy and say that he's only going to do in-house fights, it's not necessarily a good thing for Tank Davis. But hey, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy, support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.